Welcome to the first episode of the Worldstar Roundup podcast. I'm one of the four hosts, Napo Ellis or Napoleon, and my other three hosts are BHR Real 86 or Charles, Graspy Emily or MZ, also known as Emily, and then Fuzzy Peaches or Annabelle, like the little doll that tries to kill people.
Oh, you have to add the doll in it.
I'm just saying.
Have to add the doll.
But yeah, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, starting from the top to bottom. So Fuzzy, you're first, and MC, then Charles, and then I'll go last.
All right. I'm Annabelle or Fuzzy Peaches, and I stream on Twitch. I'm also in school full time, and yeah, that's about me.
It's like when they try to make you do icebreakers at school, and you're just like, I don't want to.
I'm so bad at introducing myself. I feel like you just like get to know me. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I've ever sat down with like anyone like that I talk to on Twitch and been like, hey, like this, like you guys just get to know me.
All right, I'll go next then. So yeah, I'm Emily, or MZ. I also stream on Twitch, but I'm 23. I live in London. I work overseas a lot, so a lot of the time I'll be doing this sort of podcast remotely, so from somewhere that's not London. But yeah, I mean, what games do I play? I grew up playing, like Prince of Persia on PlayStation, League of Legends, and then I probably got a really toxic relationship with Call of Duty. And then have a pretty rough relationship at the moment with Call of Duty Warzone. So, yeah, I mean, that's me in a nutshell, really.
The name's BHR Real, aka Charles, from Canada. I work full-time, 34, been a gamer all my life. My top 5 games are Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong Country, NBA Street, and then I would have to say GTA San Andreas.
Oh, it's a good game. It's a good game.
But yeah, I'm Napoleon or Napo Ellis. I also, just like everybody else, stream on Twitch. 20 years old. I don't know. I've been playing video games. I want to say since I was like 5, but like actually getting into them, it wasn't until high school. I started playing League of Legends with my brother, and then also in the gaming club at our school, which I'm pretty sure I'm still in like our League of Legends team. I just never left it. So, that's a thing. But then I got into Fortnite after that because we got a PlayStation for our birthday. Like my birthday and my brother's birthday, we kind of go out, and our parents would like, you can buy one thing like every single birthday, and you get to pick it. It doesn't matter what the price is. We were never like, oh, let's get a car. We were like, can we get some Pokemon cards? Because that was like $70. They didn't really care. And then one year we were like, okay, instead of us each getting something, can we just combine our presents and get a PlayStation? And my mom was like, okay. So we got a PlayStation. I ended up playing Fortnite. My brother switched and got a gaming computer. And then finally in 2019, I got my own computer, switched off of Fortnite due to reasons we don't need to talk about.
We're Fortnite.
Okay, I will fight you. But yeah, I switched off of Fortnite, got onto Warzone, which sucked on console. Like it was so bad. Like jumping from console to PC, you can tell the difference. But now I play Warzone, Among Us, like stuff like that. Just kind of a variety of games. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I feel like my intro sucked.
It's okay. Sometimes in life we don't do things good, but
we want to.
We push on.
It's okay. You just power through.
Do you know what? You can't be good at everything.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, also Shake said she's ready whenever we are, so I'll tell her 140. Okay. Oh, that's gonna suck because I have to set up the camera for Shake. Oh, pain. Okay. I'm not gonna be mad about it. But yeah. So let's get into our topics. I know MZ, you put up the topic about talking about Repullze. I don't actually know who that is, so you have to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So for those, I don't know if either of you two know Repullze. Let me just quickly tab back to Discord. 2 secs. Do you two know Repullze or Hector?
No.
No. So I mean, this guy started streaming a year ago. So decent amount of time to like start streaming, but not like nothing when you look at what Nick Merckx has done with MFam or Tim the Tatman with Tatman Army. Like the community, like it's taken them years and years and years to build like their communities. And this guy Repullze, he averages between like 1 and 2,000 viewers a stream. But this month reached just over 40,000 subscribers. Now that's crazy. So I think he's at number 6, the number 6 poll spot of highest number of Twitch subscriptions of all time. So at the top you have Ludwig. I don't really know how to pronounce the name.
Yeah.
And then like Nick Merckx or someone, and then you go down and Repullze is there. And I came across him.
He's at 7.
A streamer that I watch quite a lot hosted him, and I was like, well, I don't know who this guy is. Like I know he's pretty, bloody good at Warzone. And I have to say, he is probably one of the most entertaining people I've watched on Twitch. Like the guy can just foster some sort of atmosphere, and like people just chuck subscriptions at him just to see him slap his bum and hit his little buttons to go for 5 gifted. They love it, but I have like huge respect for the guy. Like he's just done so well. So then after this, I sort of went back through his Twitter and I did a bit of like sort of background research on him, and he just grinded non-stop day and night to get where he is. And I think it just goes to show, like, if you really want it, like, you can do it. Like, he's done something pretty amazing, and he's topped a lot of the big streamers out there. So I mean, hats off to him. But then that does like kind of bring us onto Ludwig. I mean, I only sort of came across him a couple of days ago. I was when I was reading about Repullze, and then I don't even know what he streams. I did a bit of research on him earlier, but does anyone know that like spent any time in his stream?
I watched for a little bit. I think I went into the stream for like 5 minutes, and then like 20 minutes later, I somehow had a sub. But I guess eventually everybody in there would have gotten one. But he kind of plays like variety games, so he does like GTA, back when it was popular, Rust, Among Us. So it's kind of just like he's a variety streamer, but I know like I think he started streaming a year ago as well, and then he blew up
so much. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the fastest growing Twitch streamer of all time, and then he also got the like last week, I think. No, 2 weeks ago now. No, I might have the timeline wrong, but he got like the record for the most subs ever, and he beat Ninja out by 20,000. Yeah.
2018, so that's pretty. Like Ninja was holding number 1 for almost 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of like Twitch records and stuff like that, they can be broken, but it's kind of hard because you have to either be already popular or have like a really like good personality that people like. And like Ludwig, from watching him, he's like he seems like he's like a cool person. I know even for like the subathon, people are like, oh, he's just gonna keep all the money for himself, but like he gave a lot of it away.
Yeah, he's donating a lot of it to charity, and on the last day he was doing like each sub gets $5 donated to charity. So that was pretty good.
But I know like he paid his mods.
Yeah, he paid his mods.
Yeah, he said he paid his mods. I think it was either $500 or $1,000 every day the stream kept going on. So like
Really?
yeah, and the stream went on for 31 days. So I don't know math, but so they either made 31,000 in a month, or they made however much divided by 2 that is.
Wait, so he just streamed
That's pretty cool.
constantly for 31 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically I don't know if you've seen the movie The Truman Show with
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. Yeah, it was basically that. He would sleep on stream. He would like work out on stream. Sometimes if he was like tired, somebody else would be on there, which I don't know if like that counts as his stream still, but like I mean, I think it still counts towards the record. But basically, like during the nighttime, if you wanted to, he would basically put up like a little display capture thing on his stream, and if you wanted to play a video, you could pay. I think it was like $5 to play a video, as long as it wasn't like against TOS or anything like that, and it would just play the video, and people like he got money from that, the subs, the bits, and the donations. Um, and people would just pay to have like their stuff up on the stream. So like if you wanted to promote, like say your channel, you could literally just pay $5 and there'd be 70,000 people watching your video while he's streaming.
Is that his viewer count? Like 70,000?
The max he had, I believe, was like 200,000, but he averages like 40,000 on like normal streams.
That's insane.
That's a good ass streamer right there, man.
And the funny thing was,
Really smart guy.
yeah, like he set it up perfectly. So like he set the time limit on the subathon. Like it was unlimited basically, but he set it to the max of 31 days because Twitch subs like they reset after a month. So it wouldn't have like the subs he had before, it would have like cut off. But also like people said they would have kept donating probably like for months. Like he probably could have went on for a long time just because like it's not like being mean, but like people wanted to just keep the stream going because it's like a cool thing to have.
It's a gimmick, isn't it? It's like a one-off thing which doesn't really happen, and people just kind of want to get involved with it.
Yeah, because if anybody else tries to do it now, they're just be like, "Oh, you're trying to copy Ludwig," which, like, I mean, that's how sometimes how like content works. Like, you have original stuff, and then you also have not really like copying, but like you try to make your own spin on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he,
right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be trends.
yeah,
Everyone basically does the same thing. Just
I know like a big thing that like does that is like TikTok.
yeah, exactly.
Like you make original content, but like also if you want to like get any type of views or blow up on TikTok, you have to kind of not copy you, but like you have to try to do like the same thing.
TikTok is just so weird. Like I've had it where I put so much effort into a video, like edited and everything, and then another time I literally just made a picture of a meme and it got over 100,000 plays. Like I just took a meme offline. I don't know how that works, but it just
I don't know. I don't really get how TikTok works either. Like,
Same.
Someone,
some of my videos get loads of views, some don't. It's odd. It's weird.
I know it's weird.
This guy explained it. I gotta find his YouTube channel, but so basically, I guess what happens is for the first hour they show it to like a small group of people. So it's like that's like the first group, and if those people like it or interact with it enough within that first hour, then they kind of send it out to a bigger group, and that's in like the second hour, and that happens like 2 or 3 times, and then if it gets to like a certain stage, it'll get sent to an actual like TikTok employee. So like it might do good with those few people. That's why it might like within like the first couple hours you see like 300 views or something like that. But then it might just cut off, and if it cuts off, it's just because whoever it got sent to didn't like it. So you could literally have like a video. Like I had one video where I was talking about like sexual assault awareness month, and you would think like people would want to support like that just to let people know, be aware, stuff like that. So like it still got views, but like if the person that like gets the video chooses I don't want this to go out, they can just cut it off. So like sure, like if some people click on the video, the views will come in, but it won't go like viral like you see some people do.
Yeah.
But also you have some people which it's not proven as they want to say, but some people like the bigger ones like Charlie D'Amelio or Addison Rae where they they do stuff that some people consider not as popular or not as much effort put in. So say like they'll be like artists that get like a few 100,000 views, but then you can have like Addison Rae or somebody just like sit there and like move their face a little bit and they get like 10 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, if you notice, like Charlie D'Amelio, she's like the most followed person, but she hasn't went up in followers in like 9 months because people are, I guess they're saying, so it seems like she bought followers and they either stopped buying them or the real people that were watching kind of left. So it looks like the number just kind of stay the same or they go down because if you don't have like actual people that want to watch it, like the only people, like if you look at the comments, you'll see certain people, all it is just people talking about how are you getting this many views? Like that makes no sense, but they are helping by coming to comment that. So like you have like the bot followers and viewers, and
Yeah,
then
you've
the
got
real
that
people.
saying where it's like all publicity is good publicity. Like there's no such
Yeah.
thing as bad publicity. So it's why like, I posted I got on one of my my Warzone TikTok account. I put a video up and like it was a good video. Like, it was an outplay video, and this guy was just hating on it. Like he just went on a bit of like a rant on his comments. But I was like just thinking this guy can just keep going because he's just adding more and more comments to the video, which is just feeding into the interactions more. So it doesn't really bother me. And then he turned out to be a really decent guy. I think I ended up like replying to one of his comments and explaining like my thought process. And then he was like, "Oh, fair play. No, I get that." And then like apologized for everything. I was like, "Oh, great. So he's a decent guy and he's helped my interaction. I'll take it."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
I think like one good example of like not all publicity is bad publicity. Like any publicity kind of just good. I'd probably say would be like either like back when YouTubers used to do like diss tracks on each other, like KSI versus like literally other people in the Sidemen.
I remember that.
Yeah, they pretended to like be mad at each other for no reason just to get views, or like Jake Paul versus Logan Paul when they made diss tracks on each other, and then literally got like like they got like 20 million views on their videos, then went and had like fights, and somehow people either thought it was real or just wanted to come see it because like it's entertaining. Like it makes no sense sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
literally yesterday.
Sorry, go on, Charles. Not sure
I wasn't going to say anything yet.
I was gonna say literally yesterday, like Jake Paul had a boxing match.
Yeah.
Which, so the fight started at 9 p.m. EST.
Yeah.
It ended at maybe 12:45 EST. There was 10 minutes of fighting. The rest of it was concerts.
Fighting.
Like, it was barely any fight. Like literally, people paid $40 to watch a few seconds of somebody fighting. And like it was literally just a publicity stunt. Also because if you look at the fight, the guy he was fighting is a trained fighter. He was like an actual person that can fight.
He didn't even look like a fighter. It was so bad.
I mean, look, Ben Askren is a combat sports veteran. Like, he's had, 22 fights or something like that. He's had 7 wins by submission, 7 by knockout. Like, he knows what he's doing, but like he is retired. Like, he hasn't been in the game. I don't know when he retired, but he's retired. He hasn't been in the game for a while. I don't really know what the weight difference is between them, but I didn't really pay the fight that much attention. But Logan Paul looks like a big guy.
Yeah.
Was it Logan or Jake? I can't remember.
It was Jake Paul.
Oh wait.
Jake.
Oh yeah, it was Jake. Yeah, Logan. If it was Logan, he would have.
Let's not speak about how he was supposed to fight Floyd Mayweather.
Look, if he went up against any like champion combat sports fighter, not even champion, like any world class fighter who's still in the game,
he would have lost.
Someone like Khabib Nurmagomedov or Conor McGregor or like George St. Pierre, anyone like that. I mean, I know there's like a lot of different weight classes there, but he would get smoked. Like it's not even up for debate, and that's why like people want to call out people like Floyd Mayweather because it is the money fight. Like they earn a lot of. They don't care if they get knocked out because they'll make like 100 million
off of the fight.
off that fight, you know, and that's more than enough to cover your medical bills. But yeah, people just do it for the money.
Ben literally went in there.
Punch me in the face for 100 million.
Yeah, like
I'm down.
I feel like realistically anybody would like if you they say get in the ring 10 seconds and then let him tap you one time and fall down, $10 million. Pretty sure anybody would do it.
Yeah,
like Ben Askren made like $400,000, I think, and he was in there. He got hit 3 times. It was like once, twice. He kind of like recovered a little bit, and then got hit again, laid down, and then the old dude was just like, "Oh, fight's over." He lost. Like, no.
He looked like he was still able to go. I feel like the referee didn't know what he was doing.
He just didn't want to. He either knew he would actually win. It was some like 85-year-old guy.
Yeah.
He should not have been there. If you look at like afterwards the fight, Ben Askren had no injuries. Literally was just smiling with his wife walking out because he made $400,000 to do nothing. Like they sat there, watched a concert. They got a free concert, $400,000, which probably with taxes like $300,000, and then didn't actually get injured. And he retired. She retired in 2019. Like so stupid.
I don't know. Like, I don't know who the referee was. I'm just trying to find out. But like, Mark Goddard, I think he's a referee for the UFC. I'm quite a big UFC fan, and like he tweeted out earlier saying the referee made the right call for Ben Askren. No work, no conspiracy. No one was in on it. Just a referee preventing a foregone conclusion. We don't always need to see a kill shot. I think what he's trying to say is that the referee saw enough. I think you can. I did like kickboxing for 6 years and jiu-jitsu for quite a while, and like you can see it in people's eyes. Like if they've been hit hard, like if the fight leaves that person, they're just gonna get hurt. And I don't know. I feel like referees probably been doing it long enough that they know if that's the case. I mean, it might not. Maybe it was called too early, but I know. I was like big devil's advocate. I hope that the referees are just acting in someone's best interests, health-wise, rather than, a bit of money.
After that knockdown, though, if you looked at his eyes, you could have seen that he had a glazed look over him, and you could have seen he was wobbling around. And yeah, because someone, I don't know who it was, but someone, I think Keemstar tweeted something, and then someone dropped a link that they were streaming it on YouTube. So I was like, well, I'm not paying for this fight. Let me see what happens. And then yeah.
There was some lady on TikTok that just had it on her laptop and was live streaming her phone looking at the laptop. And I watched it literally. They said it was 1 minute and 59 seconds into the first round.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro, no.
I mean, Ben Askren is a known, like a known variable. Like, the combat sports industry, like he's a known entity, whereas Jake Paul isn't really a known. So I think where referees probably taking that into account. That they don't. No one knows what power Jake has in his hands, or if he's any good. But if they make the wrong call and they let him hit him again after he's already been knocked over and he suffers brain damage or goes to hospital, the counter to that is, the referee's up in court because he didn't stop a life-changing injury, and I don't know.
I feel like, to be fair, it did look like it was. It probably wasn't. It didn't even look like. I feel like it was not staged, but like they were like, if you get hit hard enough, we're just gonna say it's over. Because as much as like it's that much money, he also probably didn't want to get hurt because pretty sure he probably has like kids or something, and he was just like, let me just go home. take my $400,000. Jake got $690,000 to fight for 2 minutes. So yeah.
Jeez.
And I mean, there's like that YouTube. There's a YouTuber versus TikToker. I don't know what you even call people that use TikTok, but like YouTube versus TikTok boxing match that's coming up. It's like 9 different people. Like FaZe Jarvis is going against like I think like Rice Gum. It's like 6 different people.
Brothers. Yeah, KSI's brothers in it too.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing of YouTubers, TikTok, whatever, wanting to get involved in combat sports, I find it really irritating because it's no joke. Like getting punched or kicked in the face is no joke. Like there's like serious things can come out of that, and I think a lot of people are just taking it as a joke.
Yeah. So it's
seriously hurt.
I don't know who most of these people are, but it's Tanner Fox versus Nick Austin, FaZe Jarvis versus Michael Lee. Michael Lee is literally a dancer. So that's and then there's DDG who's a rapper versus Nate Wyatt. And then they have like 2 slots where you can pick who you want to go in to fight. So like people could just pick like somebody that's like an actual like big dude. Like YouTubers, they could just pick like Nick Merckx and like it's versus like you pick versus Taylor Holder, who's literally just some scrawny, no offense, like frat boy on TikTok. And then Danny Duncan versus another somebody you pick, and then Deji.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Danny Duncan. I think he's a dancer also.
No, he does YouTube videos.
Is YouTube? There's another dude that looks just like him on TikTok.
Oh.
But then it's Deji. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Deji versus Vinny Hacker. Like Deji's KSI's brother, and then Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall. Like I feel like they literally says for entertainment only, but they're just trying to get some money. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like YouTube isn't partnered with them, and TikTok isn't partnered with them either. They just wanted to like call it that. I don't know. I feel like not everybody should be a boxer. Okay, like sure you could try, but like no, not everyone needs to get into it. Sure, the money's there, but no, it's not worth all of that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think the whole thing that kicked that off was when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what kind of brought these fights to the mainstream, because there was a few like going back a few years before that fight, but when Conor McGregor challenged Mayweather, I think that's what kind of brought these troll fights to like the public eye, and like it can be done for the money.
Yeah. But I know, like, speaking of like controversy and people like being able to make publicity off anything, David Dobrik, I know that was a big issue. So like I know I guess if you want to look at it a certain way, he himself didn't do anything wrong, but if you actually look at like how his actions kind of had an effect on people, he did a lot wrong. Like he recorded, so I know the big issue is one of his friends basically was accused of assaulting someone while they were drunk, as well as like he recorded and he also provided like the drinks and stuff, so they count him as responsible for that.
Yeah.
And then also he paid somebody that this guy that was gay to kiss his friend without his consent and then record it just for content.
Like, is he okay?
I don't know, honestly. Like
that's like all I can like. You're that desperate for content? Come on. I don't even like.
So like I feel like the big issue was he made an apology video, which it was literally like a 6-minute apology video, and he just like, oh, I won't do this again, guys. I'll show you with my actions, not my words, that I'll do better. Which, no, that's not how that works. You can't like sure, you weren't the person that like physically assaulted the person, but you contributed by not stopping them. But
I just don't. Yeah, I don't like him. I have nothing. To
what ended up happening was, so he lost a lot of his like brand deals, which I mean it's a good thing because he is not the best person. But he moved, so he moved to Facebook. So like he's posting all his vlogs on there and getting more views on a lot of them than he did on YouTube. So like he's still making money, but just not partnered or like sponsored for it.
Hmm.
Did you
Yeah,
hear
because
that?
his
Oh, go ahead.
no, go on, Peaches, you go.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, like, James Charles lost all his brand deals too. Yeah.
Okay, well he deserved that. Okay,
So does David Dobrik.
I feel once you're in a position of like influence on social media, you need to take those sort of things.
Really
You should take them seriously anyway, but I feel that there's probably a lack of understanding of like the influence that you have as a person, like especially when you've got a very young audience
Exactly. They're influenced so
of
easily.
yeah, exactly, of some very like sort of impressionable young people.
how do you
That's why it's good that brands like so for example like YouTube, they stopped the monetization of Dobrik's of his YouTube channels, and he lost like those deals because like he is in a sense representing them. So it's good like they're taking that action to say, look, as a company, we're not okay with this.
Yeah.
what I don't understand, like the James Charles situation. Okay, maybe the first time it was an accident, like you didn't know their age. The second time, okay, that's 2 times, but it's like 10 people. You don't mistakenly not understand. Like some of these people literally look like they're not even like 14. They look like they're 12 or something. Like you don't mistakenly text somebody. Like he went out of their way, and then what always ends up happening is they've like I think 3 or 4 of them have posted on TikTok like screenshots of their messages, him like asking them for stuff even after they say, "Oh, I'm like 16 or something." Like one kid I think was like 14, and he had it in his bio. Like you can see it. Anybody with eyes can see. Hey, he's young. Or like they even say, like one kid had a video saying, "Oh, me going to class in like high school." Like you gotta be able to see this stuff.
Mm.
And then they just like these people after they're done, like whatever they do or they're accused of, they just keep on making videos and like nothing happens. Like James Charles has, I think, put out like 10 more videos since he started getting accused, and just like sure he made an apology video, but like he kind of just moved on with his life. David Dobrik moved to not YouTube. He moved to Facebook, and it's just reposting all his videos. Like, I mean, sure, it's okay that you're not making like new videos because that would kind of just seem like you don't care, but still you're posting stuff and acting like nothing happened. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I'm just taking the time now. I wasn't really aware of the whole James Charles situation. I've just done a quick bit of research. Like I found a timeline of it
Yeah, it's pretty
online.
messed up.
But yeah, I just
And
He had
then
everything and then he ruined it.
yeah, because I remember whenever that video, like some video came out with the lady Tati, she was like accusing him of this stuff,
Yeah.
and then he like made another video, and then they were like, "Oh, that wasn't true," and they're like, "Okay, so he's actually innocent," but now it's coming out that he wasn't. And then like if you look at his comments, like sometimes they delete them, other times they just turn off comments, but like people they bring it up and they just kind of ignore it. But I mean, to be fair, a lot of like bigger people don't read their YouTube comments. I know there's like she's on TikTok, only Jayus. She did like psychology facts or whatever, and she um basically was like there was proof of her being like racist and calling a lot of like African American people the N word. Like there's even videos where she's like, "Oh, that's okay to say. Like there shouldn't be any issue about me saying that." And people call her out, and she just kind of ignores it. And it's like kind of shows if you have enough followers, you can do anything, and either you can just what is that word like where you just kind of slow down um the like loss of your channel or like viewers or stuff like that, or you can ignore it altogether. Because like James Charles apparently like based on the timeline, it's been like a year and a half since this stuff started, but he's just now getting like what do you call it called out for it, or at least just now actually getting um put on the spot for it. David Dobrik, this stuff happened like years ago, but is just now being held responsible. Only JS that happened like a year ago, and
How old is James Charles? At the
he's
age
like
of, like,
22 or something.
It's like in early 20s. Early 20s.
21.
yeah, I mean, like the thing is, I don't. What's the age of consent over in the US and Canada? I don't know.
It depends on the state, but like it's generally 18. But even
Oh,
if
it's
even in
18,
some
is it?
even in some places where it's like 16, it's still illegal because he was asking them to send them like explicit photos, and that's like I can't say that like child I can't say that word, but like child videos basically, and that's illegal. I don't think no matter like what age until they turn 18, which
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not
yeah,
clued up. I'm not really clued up on US laws, but I'm fairly certain over here that if you're 16, no, I think actually it's probably similar to you guys. I think if you're under the age of 18, so between say like 17 and 11 months and 16, then what's happening there is probably it's a bit weird. It's out of order, but it's not really big not a big deal, but it's not as big as it is. But I think because when you're 18 and you're an adult, and technically at 16, although you're still like the age of consent, you're still deemed as a child.
yeah,
Is that the same over there? I feel like because over here, yeah, you could probably be in trouble for I don't know
yeah. I looked it
pedophilia
up.
charges. I'm not
It
the
said
right word, but
the age of consent in the UK is 16, but
yeah,
like so like even though it's like weird and people would consider you like a weird person, dating like the age gap like dating would be okay, but people would still look down on it. But like what he was doing, it was kind of not even kind of it was illegal, and somehow he's not in jail. But
yeah, no, it is. But I mean, as of all of these things, like I don't know, I do like take everything with a pinch of salt. But then I don't know. Then again, like it's happened. There are 4 people that have come forward to say it, but there are always going to be those people that will jump on the bandwagon and will say like this happened, and they might have like circumstantial evidence that they could take screenshots like completely out of context as well. So it's like
yeah,
it's not always going to be like going to be the case that like someone has done something out of order or it hasn't. But there's always 2 sides to a story, right?
yeah,
But then for 4 people to come forward, it's a bit I don't know.
yeah,
But I don't understand why platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, pending these allegations and any legal action, don't just suspend the channel altogether.
yeah. I don't know.
And they stop giving them a platform to they stop giving them sort of a platform to increase their influence. Because
Yeah,
I mean, Twitter did it to Donald Trump.
they
yeah.
just banned him. Yeah, and now his
Right
profile don't even
now, they're
exist.
fucking miraculous. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I feel like that's I don't know. I don't even want to like kind of ponder on it anymore. Let's talk about something less negative. Let's talk about like Warzone. So we actually have a guest, ShakeInBurger, who's going to be hopping in and talking with us about kind of Warzone, the meta, and this whole hacking situation. So if we want, let's get her in here. And pause. Okay, so we now have ShakeInBurger here
Hi,
as our guest, basically to talk about just Warzone as a whole and just this awful, not okay, I won't say awful, but like just sometimes not great overall just scene.
Bad choices.
Yeah.
Bad
So if you want to introduce yourself a little bit so we can know who you are.
Sure. Okay. Well, my name is ShakeInBurger. My Twitch name is ShakeInBurger15. I have been playing video games my whole life. It's kind of like my network to get away from the real world. I think that's what it is for a lot of us. We use video games just to get away from, what's bothering us in the real world, and that's what I've done my whole life. And so, obviously, I started streaming when COVID hit last year. It was kind of just something to do with my spare time. Before I actually just ended my previous job. I was a case manager at a residential treatment center for 5 years with young kids. And when COVID hit, it was really hard. And so I decided that between streaming and we just bought a pizzeria, that's what I want to do. I mean, yeah, I know it's a huge, huge difference. So my last week at my job was last week, which I think it was a good thing, not to like dip out on them during COVID, but like it was just so hard between being quarantined every other day and wearing shields and masks and gloves just constantly, like all day, every day, and having no staff and being exposed. And so now I'm a full-time streamer now, and then on top of the pizzeria at night for now. So it's very exciting. But yeah, I do mostly play Warzone. I do horror games on the side. I don't stream them as much, but that's kind of like a pastime for me. I love games like Phasmophobia. I just finished Labyrinth. I beat all the Resident Evil games. But you'll mostly find me on first-person shooters, just because I like shooting people, I guess. So yeah, mostly on Warzone right now. And unfortunately, as much as I can't stand the game, it's very addicting, and I think a lot of other people can agree with that.
I was just saying earlier, I had the most toxic relationship with that game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to play it anymore. Like, we say every day, like, I'm done with this game. I'm uninstalling it. Let's go play Apex. Let's go play Minecraft. Let's go read a book. But you play it the next day. And I think we're all like, why? I think we're just hoping that it gets better. Because it was so good in the beginning, or whether it started with Blackout. Like Blackout on the previous Call of Duty, in my opinion, it was pretty good for what it started as, for a battle royale in the Call of Duty series. And I think we were hoping for something so much better than that. And when Warzone came out, in my opinion, it was pretty good. It was pretty good when it came out. I mean, you'll always have those situations, and we'll get into it with like hacking and stuff like that. But Warzone, for what it was worth in the beginning, I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty fun. I mean, we all were there. And I think between that and you have all of these mainstream gamers, you got Nick Mercs, you got Symphony, you got Huskers, you got TP, you got all of them who are streaming it all day, every day. And we're in this pandemic at home watching it. Like, we want to play it. We want to do what they're doing too. So I definitely think that helps, Raven Software with with their game, and they're not worried about anybody not playing it anymore because they have these huge streamers like them constantly playing it, and Swag, who's in FaZe, who've got all these codes in the store for them, so they're not worried. They have all of these glitches and stuff, and they're fixing them.
They banned 475 people off of Warzone last week.
Yep.
See,
doesn't matter.
What?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, what's happening is they're banning it. So what they're actually doing is they're banning the account. They're not banning the person.
IP
Like I was
address.
watching Crimsix, who's like a Call of Duty player, like a professional one, and he said literally they have the ability to like break your computer so you can't play it on that computer at all. You'd have to buy either a new game, you'd have to buy Modern Warfare all over again, which is like $60, $70.
Want to hack that bad?
Yeah. or you ban the IP, so then you'd have to move to a new place or pay for like a VPN,
That's the thing, like,
which
hardware bans aren't a new thing. Like they've been around. Like I'm pretty sure even RuneScape has got hardware bans. I'm fairly certain that game's got hardware bans, and
I
so
know like one
why
game
you don't
that's
have it in Warzone is just it's really frustrating. But I don't know if anyone knows a YouTuber like Rara. He plays with like the YouTuber Xbel.
I don't
No,
think
not
so.
so.
heard of them.
Like Xbel started streaming, I think when Blackout was a thing, and used to make videos on that. And then when Warzone was launched, like he blew up. Like he's quite a big streamer for it now. And Rara ended up making a video, and it was kind of going. It was a bit of a conspiracy, but there seems to be like a lot of evidence to support what he's saying, and that is that there's somebody inside like the developer circle at Activision has
Oh, I think I saw that video.
leaked the source codes of the game. So it's very difficult now to implement an anti-cheat because you essentially would have to rewrite the game,
Mm.
Yeah.
which is
So
why it's skeptical whether there will ever be an anti-cheat. But it's why it bothers me when people say, "Oh, but like like so many accounts have been banned." It's like, yep, and they'll just make a
They'll
new
just have
account.
to keep banning them over and over and over. You're
I
still gonna
think
get
it's
wall
it's
hacks
weird
thrown
because they
in.
literally they have, I don't know, whenever they do interviews, I don't think they talk to the same person. They talk to like different people because like one person at Activision said, "We have an anti-cheat." Somebody else was like, "We don't have one." And then the other one was like, "There's nobody at Activision that would leak that." But like people, so the amount of hack, if they're saying they banned 450,000 just like last week alone, it is like $5 to buy cheats for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're like one of those people that's out there being blatant, like the kids like get in a helicopter and just fly, like one person flies you around, the rest of you just shoot, kill everybody, or you're like one of those people that where we had the hackers that could end games as soon as they started and just automatically win. Like unless you're one of those like that, and you're just like maybe using walls and you're just like you can have two monitors. Like you'll see some like it looks weird. People there's like one guy that just accuses Warzone streamers of cheating. He accused like Z Laner, Nick Merckx, like the reverse boosting thing. I think a lot of big streamers they do
Are
that.
you talking about the guy who streams on Facebook?
Yeah,
Yeah, Nitro. I'm not gonna go like the rest of his name.
he accused a lot of people of like cheating. Like the reverse boosting part, I 100% think that's probably happened before, where they'll either like change like cheat the system a little bit just to get easier lobbies because sometimes they do. Like you would think with the skill based matchmaking as hard as it is, they'd always get like hard lobbies, but sometimes they do get good like easy lobbies and they'll drop like 100 kills, which they have good skill. Nothing against them for that, but like sometimes the kids in their lobbies will just be like staring at a wall and they'll be like, "Yo, I did so good." I'm like, "Ah."
You're
Like
like,
back
I would
when,
too if I was shooting
yeah.
them.
Like if you look at some of these YouTubers, like when they post videos like getting nukes, which for any of you that don't know Call of Duty, that's when you get 30 kills in a row without dying. There will literally be kids staring at walls or like pointing their guns at the floor or shooting at their teammates. And they'd be like, "Yo, I'm so good. Like I just dropped a nuke. Like this is the best like gun to use." Like no, no. Like sure, it's for content. Like yes, it's fun and all to watch, but in actuality, that's not how the game works. So I don't think any of these streamers are cheating. Like I know like Aiden, like when he plays, he'll be sitting like this, he'll be looking at his game monitor and sometimes he'll look to the side. But it's like to look at chat, not to like turn on like wall hacks to go and cheat. Cause like some of these people like Nick Merck, she's been competing for like just in video games in general for like 10 plus years or something.
He's been over 10 years.
Yeah, he's an OG.
Yep.
And people accuse them of like hacking or cheating. But like I feel like if you actually wanted to and you weren't like blatant about it, you could probably have like wall cheats up on one monitor and just play on the other one, and then occasionally it'll just look like you're talking to chat. Like you'll look
Yep.
off to the side, see where somebody is,
But
and then
that's It's really difficult if you're I don't know, say you're in downtown or something in Warzone.
Yeah.
And if you're in a gunfight, you can't be taking your attention off the screen or off the screen that you're playing on to look at a third monitor for walls or whatever
Yeah.
and still win that gunfight. I just think there's too much going on. Like it's hard enough sometimes to look at chat and still
Right.
stay 100% focused. Like when I was in the, I mean, I don't get many viewers anyway, but when I was in the tourney with Katie, I didn't look at chat. If I was playing in a game, I didn't look at chat once. I was not interested in what was going on. I was just focused on the game. So I think to have like a third monitor, you've got some serious skills there. Like if you can look at a
Serious
third monitor
multitasking skills.
and still be
Either that,
yeah, that's just
either you have
insane.
like multitasking skills or you like to pop little pills that help you focus. But what I've actually seen is some people put out YouTube videos. Also, there's TikTok accounts that literally just show themselves hacking,
Yeah, I've seen
and
those.
TikTok allows it. So what you can actually do now apparently is there's a streamer mode where you can see it, but it hides it from OBS or like whatever you're streaming on. So you don't even have to use a different monitor. You can just have it on your screen. It shows for you, but then it doesn't show for their stream. So like, and I know there's been a lot of situations. I know like Shake Yourself, there's like a reveal your task manager thing.
Yeah, my task manager, which they completed today, so I gotta do that next week. My community that all my friends that I hang out with, they think I'm sus with my HDR snipes because I like the HDR. It's a sniper rifle in the game, and and nobody likes the HDR except for me apparently, and
I
my
hate it.
shots. See. I love it, and I've
Okay.
always used it since day one. And they're like, "How are you hitting these?" And so they're like, "She must be hacking." And so they asked me to open my task manager while I'm playing to see my hacks. I'm like,
Because
hacking, but so I made it a community challenge, and so I got to show my task manager next week. Like, I'm not hacking, I'm dog water.
But I mean, also in those situations, if I don't know, I know if sorry, I don't know if you guys know who like Tommy is. He's like a big Warzone streamer, but he's had situations where he's like caught people cheating, and he's had them like pull up their task manager. But like some people, what they'll do is they'll be like, "Oh, I have to go talk to my dad," or I have to like they'll stall.
Yeah, you're talking
And
about
you can
William Pacesetter.
there was multiple situations, but like you can literally, if you want to, you can just close it out of your task manager. And I know like Tommy, I guess he has somebody that like works on PCs that they send he'll send the person that they accuse of like a file, and it'll check your entire computer. But like if you're smart and you actually are trying to do this, you can just delete everything, like wipe it off your computer so that nobody can find it.
I spoke to a friend of mine about this. My friend, he's a computer science at Imperial College London. A top uni for that, like in the world for that. And he's like, if something's been on a computer, you always be able to find there's no getting rid of it. Which is why, like, unfortunately, like pedophiles and that they'll always get caught with things on their computer because they'll delete it or like wipe their hard drive, but there's always going to be traces of it there. Like you can never just always get rid of it.
For all you kids watching, don't share photos, okay? Delete them.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. But I think it's important to understand that when it comes to, I feel like this is why people hack sometimes, though, because they watch people like Tommy and Aiden and like Biffle, like some like the top competitive Warzone streamers, and
You want to be like them. Like,
Tommy's an ex CDL player. Like Aiden, I never played Fortnite, but when you look at like his Fortnite career, the guy's out of his mind. Like they are just talented individuals. Like, and it's okay. Like it's what. Like I was in some Facebook. I think the guy that we were talking about earlier, Ellis. Like he just calls like everyone out for hacking. Anyone who's better than him, like they're always hacking. Like they're on the sus list. It's like, do you know what? It's okay for them to be better than you. And unfortunately, people get so wound up with just not being that good, and they watch these streamers that they end up just cheating to try because they think they're doing the same thing.
so I know like Nick Merckx, like he'll get into some games with hackers, and because at the end of like Warzone games, you can hear like everybody that's in the game that can talk to you. Like you can hear their voice for like 30 seconds. So he actually interviewed a few of them, and a lot of them just do it because if say you work like say you're like 30 years old and you work a 9 to 5 job, you come home and you want to just play video games with your friends for a few hours before you have to go to work again or go to sleep. You don't want to get on and just die over and over. Like you don't want to go into a game that's supposed to last like 30 minutes and die after like 2 minutes. So like the one guy he interviewed, he said just because he was getting tired of dying and like Activision does nothing to stop them. Like they'll ban your account, but he said he made like 60 accounts and all it does is you're banned for like sometimes you're like shadow banned so you can only play against like hackers for a few days. Then it goes away or they ban your account, you just buy a new one or make a new email. And it's more of a either trying to just wanting to hack because you want to hack, you are tired of dying, or some people actually hack just to get Activision's attention to make them get an anti-cheat because there's a company worth like $5 billion that can't make an anti-cheat and they like won't give a literal reason why. And it's been a year now of the game being out and they still don't have an anti-cheat. But then they're like, oh, we can't do that. Fortnite, for example, is a free-to-play game as well. And there's like a paid part like Save the World, but nobody really plays that. No offense to anybody that's watching. But there's an anti-cheat in there, and that one majority of the time works well, minus like the few times where it falsely bans people. Which, yeah. But you can go in there if you cheat, like you'll get kicked out within like seconds. It won't even let you finish the game. It'll kick you out mid-game. Like people would cheat in tournaments, and if like the right person tells like Epic Games they're banned automatically, like their account is gone, like they can't come back. But then there's also situations where like an anti-cheat isn't perfect. Like we all know that. Sometimes people literally like they'll stream every single time they play. Like they won't play off stream at all. They'll somehow get banned still. And they'll just be like, "Oh, it was a like right ban." But then there's people like where you know they're not hacking, or you think they're not hacking just because like they're a big influencer. But also like sometimes it looks a little bit like if you look at I don't know if you guys know who Symphony is. If you look at him play,
you're like you hope to God he's not hacking. You're like I hope you're not hacking,
Yeah,
but
I
some
know
of your stuff is so sus.
You watch his flicks, and it's just like
Yeah,
like sometimes
you're
you can
like,
tell
"Oh,
he's doing it for fun. Where like he'll randomly like shoot up in the air, like there'll be nobody in
he'll chase
there.
someone and go poop like on purpose because he's like trolling.
Other times he'll like there's parts in the like walls where you can like wall bang, which is like shooting through a wall, and some bullets will go through. But it's either he knows every spot in the map where you can wall bang, or he'll just like shoot through and get lucky, and it looks so bad.
it does look bad, but I don't know. I probably have like 36 days played on the game or something, and I hate to think how much time he has played on the game.
All
But
day,
I'm
every day.
sorry, I know like I've wallbanged a lot of people who have been in like 2-story houses just because I know that if they're on a UAV and they're camping there, I know if I'm in that building, if I'm gonna get pushed, I know where I'm gonna sit, or I know where I'm gonna try and outplay someone. So then you just shoot that spot, and if you get some hit markers, you get some hit markers. So I don't know, like if it happens to me like 3% of my games, if you like
But yeah,
extrapolate that for how long that he plays for, then he just happens a lot more to him than it would to like the average person.
yeah,
I
I'd
don't
say
think he is hacking. It'd be really upsetting if he was. I don't watch his stream a lot, but
Right.
I know.
I feel like that would be relatable to the. I know it's like negative, but like the whole like James Charles or like David Dobrik situation. If it happens enough times, you start to get a little bit suspicious because he has if say he streams 8 hours. Out of those 8 hours, maybe like there's an hour and a half worth of clips that just look so suspicious. And you don't want to ever think that like somebody that's that influential that has like millions of followers, he like he's in like a gaming or he was in like NRG, like an actual gaming organization getting paid like thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to play the game. You wouldn't want to think they were cheating, but like if they ever came out as cheating, that would be something, because you spent like years, people paid to watch you, like to subscribe to you, and it turns out the whole time you were just
I mean,
Cheating.
yeah.
I'd be very surprised like if a lot of the top streamers are cheating. I'd be very, very surprised because they've been on the platform now long enough
Yeah.
for them to probably be found out. Like,
Well, we all know Tim the
unfortunately,
Tatman's not streaming or not hacking.
He does too much.
I mean, that guy can't put his parachute sometimes.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He literally switched from Fortnite because all he did was like die to fall damage. Switched to Warzone, died to that all the time. The one game he liked was Apex because there's no fall damage in there.
Yep.
But yeah, like
You know, unfortunately, there has been like some false accusations, like the Twitch rivals just after Christmas or before Christmas with like Tommy
half the lobby got accused of cheating.
and Metzi B. Like he got unfortunately disqualified from a $250,000 tournament, and he wasn't hacking. But a lot of his clips, like I reviewed some of the clips, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Looks pretty suspicious to me. But
That's
went through his
the
computer for 2 hours after the tournament. He was falsely disqualified, and the poor guy missed out. Like he probably wasn't going to win anyway, but like you know, he missed his opportunity. But
I was gonna say the opportunity though.
But then,
Yeah.
do you know what it has done? Like what we were saying earlier, guys, like Ellis Charles, Peaches, like, is that publicity gained from what happened then?
Yeah.
Like, he's got loads more viewers now than what he did.
like
back then.
people
So
watch
in the long term worked out well for him, but you know, some people that could end their career.
like Symphony. He used to average like he was averaging like 5,000 viewers maybe when he first started on Warzone, even though he was like a good player. Then all the time like that, there's like that one guy, I don't know his name, but like he literally accuses Warzone streamers all the time of hacking and gets like millions of views on it, and people believe him. But like after that happened, other streamers would like accuse him like, yo, that was kind of weird. He would literally make some of his stream titles hacking live on Warzone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally
Yep.
one time he like drew up on Microsoft Paint like a fake task manager where it showed he was hacking. Like he capitalized on it, and now averages like 20,000 viewers when he's streaming Warzone. And it's just like some people when they play Warzone, they get viewers because like they're entertaining. Like Nick Merckx, he's entertaining. Like they might die off rip, but like it's still fun to watch. And there's other people like Symphony or Huskers where like you watch them because they're good, but also you're like, I don't know if you actually did that or if you're cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But you
And
know what
then
doesn't help the cheating at the moment is the meta that's been around for the last couple of months. Since the
Which
the hell
one?
is happening? What the hell is happening to my thing?
Oop.
Sorry. Don't know, something's playing in my ears.
honestly, all the metas are just
I was
oh
gonna
my
say, are
God,
we
my
talking about the
controller's
AUG? Or are we talking about
So just the time to
the
kill on
M16?
all the guns at the moment is
Yeah.
ridiculous. The FFAR is like 460
Yeah. The
milliseconds.
FFAR, the MAC-10.
So, and now you've got these pistols, which dual pistols, like the time to kill is like 230 milliseconds.
they.
So, all of a
So I know
sudden,
like the
you could die to a terrible player just of like bad COD timing, or like if you got bad position, because the time to kill is so quick. You
Yep.
then can die to a really good player in the same amount of time, but also when you chuck hackers in as well, it's just gets a bit ridiculous because you can't even, you don't even have time to react to the people who have like pre-fired you, because by the time you've come around that corner, if they've got walls, you're dead. It's not like if I only started playing Warzone in November, but
Did anybody
look
see
at
that TikTok that TP put out with the new pistols, the dual pistols? It was
think
bad. He got a quad wipe with the pistols and
yeah,
like
I saw that.
yeah.
they. So it's kind of been proven now. They do it on purpose,
Yeah.
where like back when the Bruin was a big thing, which is
Yeah.
like one of the most powerful LMGs, they added like right before a new season. They added at the beginning of a new season because people are like, "Wow, look at this gun!" Everybody talks about it.
Everybody
Everybody
wants
makes
it,
videos
yep,
on
I
it,
feel
and
it.
then
Yep.
yeah,
It's promoting for them. People will buy the game. People will buy stuff in the store, the camos
Yeah.
for it. Like it's money in
because
their
think right
pocket.
now, the new pistols just happened to come out. Like so, they've been leaked that they were gonna come out since the beginning of the season. They come out a week before the new season. There's a glitch where you can have 100% accuracy with them,
Yep.
and somehow, but now they're saying, oh, we have a fix in the work to change that. So they're changing those new pistols, the FFAR, the Mag 10, the AUG, and the M16, and a couple other weapons. But they're gonna probably wait. They're probably
Are they
gonna wait a
fix
few
the
weeks.
most wanted yet?
Not that I know of.
They've still taken it out.
Are they gonna fix the loadout?
Like there's so many glitches, like the stimulus glitch where like you can just sit in zone forever. Like they try to change it, make
Yep.
you take more damage. Still hasn't fixed it. Like I feel like if they just had people to test the game before it went out, people be so much better.
Yep.
Like people would do it for free. Like literally
I was
just
just about to say I'll do it for free.
like we'll test it. Literally
I'll just
whoever's
do it for free. It's fine.
whoever finds these glitches, just let them go in there, try to break the game, and whatever they do, let them explain it so you can just change it. Like I know in Fortnite they now have like they're trying to get better with communication, but like they have it where you can actually go through and test stuff before other people. Like they'll do test tournaments before actual tournaments, so you can check stuff. Warzone does not care. They're just like, oh, 80-round pistols that can just kill like 16 people in a row. Let's throw that in there. No
Right.
testing, nothing.
Yep. It's fine. It'll be all right. It'll be fun.
I
It's
feel
not.
it's the same when Square Enix released Avengers last year. I swear to God, the game was so broken on launch day. Oh my God.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh my God. I
Pain.
think I did one of the first missions, and I was using Hulk. I'm probably like halfway through the mission, and I'm fighting enemies, and then next thing you know, my character, I do hit the Hulk smash, and the next thing you know, Hulk's below the map. I'm like,
Like they don't test for glitches. They're like, let's put this game out as fast as possible. So like
that's
think
exactly
about
what they did.
like
Yep.
you mess up, say you mess up Warzone or Modern Warfare. So the guns are messed up on there. What are people gonna do? If you they close down the servers for other games. So like Black Ops 4, it's still out for right now. Like you can still play on it. But eventually they're gonna close those servers down. So what do? You can't play COD. Maybe you go play a different game, but also you still want to play COD. So then you go to Cold War. But then there's kids in there like using wall hacks in League play.
That's
It
like when the old Modern Warfares, like when the new ones were coming out. I don't know if like you guys or anybody listening, like I was like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, like when they started coming out with like Black Ops 1 and 2, I still liked Modern Warfare 2 and 3, but like every single lobby you went into, it was like I remember I was on my PlayStation 3 and I would go into a game and it would be like hacked across my screen and I'm like, "Oh, okay," and all of a sudden I'd be like prestige 10 with like every single calling card and emblem unlocked, and there'd be like a bunch of nukes dropped, and then the next game hacked again, and then I'd lose everything. You know, like those were literally the lobbies because Activision, I think, or was it Sledgehammer at the time? I think it was Activision. Didn't care about the servers anymore because the new Call of Duty came out. So I remember that back with Modern Warfare 2.
I think they seem to keep. It's like a backlog of 2 previous games. I think they keep those servers open, don't they?
Gotcha.
I think
so yeah,
so.
once the
So
new
they
one
keep
comes
Modern
out,
Warfare servers open, and then whatever game was before Modern Warfare, they kekeep those servers open.
BO4.
And then
Yep.
when the
Once
next
this
one
World War
comes
II
out, they'll
comes out, yeah.
close. Yeah, they'll
Yep.
close. Right,
So
and that makes
BO4 is
sense
probably
because
closed.
Gotcha.
it doesn't make financial sense to keep the servers open for games which don't have a large player base, especially
Right.
when most people who play the Call of Duty franchise do move from one to the next. And there are
It's-
people like us who like play the games like fairly religiously. I wouldn't say like a semi-professional level at all, but like
Right.
good enough at the game that they know what they're doing. Like it's not just something they do when they get home from work. Like it's something they take relatively seriously. So in a way, like our opinions don't really matter that much because everybody else plays it casually and they just want to play the new game.
because the game is made like pretty much every game is made for casual players. It's not made for you to go and compete on. Like Warzone, if you notice, like they don't have tournaments integrated. It took them a while to actually get those added in, but people will still play it competitively. Like you'll have kids with like 8 KDs that just run around murdering people the entire day, and then you have other kids that somehow get into the lobby that plays the game maybe 2 hours a week and just gets crapped on, and they're like, okay, maybe I'll load up another game, or they're mad they switch to like multiplayer or like Cold War. It kind of just draws you in where you get like addicted, but you don't want to admit it, and you just kind of keep playing. Like you hate the game sometimes, but you just keep playing, or you'll like get off. Maybe you might get off for like an hour, go eat, but you'll come back just because that's
wanna
how
play.
video games work. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's either
When you win,
hey,
it's that adrenaline rush of winning, and you're like, yes,
because you're like,
at the
oh, let
top.
me, yeah, let
Let's
me
go
let me
again.
go,
And then you get
let's
shot.
go again, and then
Dang.
skill-based matchmaking is like, oh, you wanted to win again? Nah, no.
Nah.
We'll just kill you again.
Yep.
I think someone posted a video, not really a video. They mentioned it in a video that I watched. I can't remember who, but the skill-based matchmaking isn't exactly skill-based matchmaking. It is to an extent, but a more accurate term would be retention-based matchmaking. So, like your first game of the day will be really easy, and that's because you'll do relatively well, you'll win, and then you feel good about that. So then you keep playing, and I don't know. Sometimes this lobbies get super hard. Where
Yeah.
I have
I mean, it's
I have
lost real
days.
quick,
I
guys.
have like days probably like early in the day, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where
Right?
I'll be smashing it, and I won't really even be paid that much attention to what's going on. Like I'll just be talking with friends and like just be like vibing out. And then it's like we're in the final circle of like 2 other teams left. And then I guess the point is like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I'm really like having to put all my effort in to not die off the rip.
Yeah, somebody looked at like there's certain times where it's better to play because see like if you play during say like a Monday and you play at maybe 12 o'clock in the morning, that's when a lot of kids that like since they go to school they might not have the best like they might not have the best skill just because they don't have time to play the game. So all you have on is like people like the Huskers, the Symphonies that are like sweating the game for no reason. Just for no reason. And you're just trying to have fun. But then you die to them. But then you get on a weekend, that whole day, you're just getting easy lobbies. And what they'll also do is say, like you're saying, like the retention. You play the whole day and it's like 7 o'clock at night, you're like, okay, we're gonna get off. It's not like where it was keeping it's like somehow the game knows you want to get off. And I guess like because it's like you're getting harder games and it notices that. So then you're like, okay, I'm gonna get off, but one more game. Your friend's like, okay, one more game. That game is easier somehow.
It's always one more game.
It's always one more game than you stay on
Always.
for like 5.
Always.
Yeah.
One more game.
Always. And then it's 3
Yeah.
a.m. and you're like, oh.
I genuinely think I've low key stopped enjoying the game. Like it's a lie. I love the game. Like unless you tune into my stream a few times, like I beat myself up over this game so much. It's not even funny. Like if I die, I'm fuming. Like I'm absolutely fuming.
That's
I'm like
literally how...
I'm criticizing every move that I just made. I'm like, was that the right play? I don't think that was the right play. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, you know?
When
I'm not even
Fortnite.
enjoying anymore.
when I tell you Lily yesterday, I sat in my chair for 17 hours. I could have went out and done something. I could have probably played video games. I sat here just staring at all my games like, should I play this? Should I play this? Like I was like, I don't even I got on like Warzone. I was like, I don't know anybody on here. Like I don't have anybody online. I'm not playing this game by myself. Like video games nowadays, if it's like a single player game like Cyberpunk, that game was popular for a little bit. You'll play it for a little bit, you probably beat the game, you're done with it. If it's multiplayer, you could hate the game, all the glitches, the bugs, the hackers. But if you have friends that play it, you're gonna play the game. Like it's
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know. Like for me, I'm just a really competitive person. Like literally everything I do, I'm always gonna try and be the best. It's it's not a good trait at all. I'm just super competitive. So I get on like I came back to Modern Warfare after like taking a break from the Call of Duty franchise because the running along the walls was getting a bit ridiculous, and I got a bit over it. So then when I did come back to Modern Warfare, I played that for a couple of months, and then I went away for work, and I didn't have my console, my computer with me, or anything. I was just away for work for 10 months. And then Warzone came out. I didn't really pay much attention. I saw it on my TikTok For You page, and that was about it. I never like played it, didn't really know anything about it. I then get back from work in October last year, play a few games of Warzone, just became addicted to it. And now it's got to the point, because I'm not currently at work, I'm almost like making it my job, like making it my life. Anyone else feel that with the game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I started streaming, because I haven't signed a contract for work at the moment. I'm like, well, I've got nothing else to do with my time. I might as well put 8 hours, 9 hours a day into Warzone and streaming, and try and make something out of that.
Yep.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I just feel like games overall, they kind of have made them a certain way where you don't want to play, but you want to play at the same time, and that's kind of just how it's going to be for a long time. But yeah, I feel like that's another topic for another day.
Sure. Talk about
But yeah, I know Shake has to get ready to head out, and
Gotta go slay some pizzas.
yeah, we all have lives outside of this. If you guys are listening, yeah, this was the first episode of the Worldstar Roundup podcast with our special guest ShakeInBurger.
Good job, guys. Awesome podcast, and thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Absolutely.
It's great to have you.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
When are you streaming? I'll pop in and say hi.
Same.
So I stream Saturday through Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh, perfect.
So I take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings off. So just Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday mornings right now. That's I wanted to do more, but with the pizzeria opening up, I'm like dying on the inside. Like
You gotta send me a slice.
In the past 48 hours, I've spent 35 hours at the pizzeria. It's been so busy. I know. It's so I'm about to go back there.
Well, that's good that it's busy though. Congratulations.
It's so good that it's busy because we're making all of our money back. I'm just like I can't feel my back. But so my poor dogs. So
but yeah, so I'll link everybody's Twitter and Twitch down below in the description. And I mean, honestly, thank you guys for showing up and putting in the effort. And Shake, if you want to ever come back on here, just let us know.
Absolutely. I would love to come back. You guys are awesome.
Oh, so are you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Well, enjoy
Yeah.
the rest of your Sunday, everybody.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I forgot it was Sunday.
Have a good
Jeez.
day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.